What's up, baseball people? Nameco and Dustin here with Fantasy Smack Talk. Before we get into our catcher rankings, make sure that you know that we got a bunch of other videos up. You can go on to our website, fantasysmacktalk.com, and we also have cheat sheets for you there as well. But Dustin, talk about them guys behind the plate.
Tier 1. Decent talent in Tier 1 this year. You know, obviously with Posey and Santana, a lot of upside there. But the guys I want to talk about are Rosario and Joe Mauer. Rosario's 24-year-old catcher. He's shown that he can bat for average. He can bat for power. This guy could be at the top of this tier next year. You know, he definitely has that type of potential. And Joe Mauer, even though he's probably going to be moving, playing a lot more first base, a lot more DH, less days behind the plate, maybe even no days behind the plate, he still has catcher eligibility, so that's why we ranked him here, just because that's where he has the most value. He can still bat for average. Don't think that he's going to go back to where he had that power from that 1 year, but if you're looking for a catcher that bats for average, he's your man.
All right, Tier 2, I'm going to be talking about McCann first. He's with the Yankees, so it kind of sucks because I actually really like him at Yankee Stadium, and I like the fit there, especially because of the power numbers I think he can get. But you don't overdraft him, and some Yankee fan in your league probably will. But if you're lucky and have no Yankee fans, he's a guy to target in the mid-rounds. And then also going to talk about Yadier Molina. You know, he's a little bit scary. He's 31 years old, and he's spent a lot of time behind the plate, and he's definitely got injury issues. So just be a little bit careful when you're drafting him. If you get him, you're going to want to get a guy that we talked about a little bit later just to back him up.
All right, in Tier 3, you know, he definitely takes a pretty decent dip here, but still a lot of upside. You know, like always, catcher is a little bit thin. So I want to talk about the last two guys in this tier because I think these guys have the most upside. While they might be slightly bigger gambles, these are guys that could have really good years. And that's Gaddis for Atlanta. McCann out of the way, he's going to get a lot more bats. And Gomes for Cleveland. You know, he and Santana will probably split a little bit back there, play a little DH. You know, Santana might be playing a little first. So I think both these guys are going to get more bats this year. They did really well in limited at bats last year. Give them more bats, should be more numbers for you.
Tier 4, got two more guys for you, and these are perfect backup kind of catcher guys to grab. The first one's Jason Castro. You know, the reason you're grabbing him is simply because of the power. He had 18 bombs last year and 435 at bats, so you gotta like that, getting a little pop out of your catcher position. And the next guy is oh my God, Travis
d'Arnaud.
Top prospect for the Mets. And some games I just can't ever say.
It's a tough one.
He's one of the top prospects for the Mets. You gotta love that just from a fact of pedigree. Kind of alone, but that's where you take a guy like Yadier Molina, you back him up with this guy. If Yadier stays healthy, that's great. If this guy breaks out, even better.
In the last tier, I want to talk about the last three guys in this tier. First one's Grandal. Got suspended, then he got hurt. But before going into last year, he was one of the best catcher prospects. So you can't completely ignore him. You can't completely forget about him. He still has some upside. Next is Pinto for the Twins. You know, with Mauer moving over to first and doing more DH, he still has Suzuki to deal with. But, you know, he's a guy that everyone loves as far as the prospect goes. And Aaron Sebia is out in Texas now. Under 200, but over 20 home runs. So you know what you're going to get out of him, but in definitely 5x5 leagues where you just pad your home run stats, he's a guy to take a look at really late.
So that's it for the catchers, for the CEO and president and big boss, the most important human at Fantasy Smack Talk. I'm Brent Nameco. Because you love it so much.
And we did a Kickstarter campaign for a fantasy football app that we're trying to put together. Go to Kickstarter, search Fantasy Football University, or click on the link on our homepage. We need money to try to get our
money
up on the App Store. Check it out.